-5. If you score a goal, they get a shutout. So -35 is like aggressive. I scored 3 goals. Free Jacob. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Oliver Posterman.
Gus Jacoby.
That's the mic. We are here today for Jacob and Oli's hearing. The incident that occurred in Game 6. Gus, please explain.
It was a little bit disappointing on the league's behalf there. We had no idea that Jacob was wearing the knee pads that he did have on underneath his jeans. So we did look into more of the rule book. It was a little aggressive on Oli's play too, so we definitely have a lot to look at today with going forwards with player safety and how the league's going to bounce back from something like this.
As commissioners and CEOs and head of player safety, we'll be giving Oli and Jacob 2 minutes each to plead their case, and then we will see which side we decide to take. So we also need your guys' help to decide whether the boys force Game 7 or Jacob wins the series. All right, thank you. The players will be returning shortly. Thank you.
Soon.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here on the hearing. I don't know, I don't even know where to start with this. It's a tough topic. I see a lot of always in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate all the support over the past couple of days. It's been hard for me knowing, I could have played every game in knee pads and the whole series would have been different. I also I want to get my point across because I know Jacob's going to try and come in and blah, 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 like try and be sarcastic or something about it. So I just want to jump in. The first thing I want to say is I want you guys to picture it as if it was the Olympics. The players can't do drugs, right? They can't have drugs to make them play better. That's pretty much what Jacob did. He put on his knee pads in Game 2. He didn't have them Game 1. He put them on Game 2, which essentially made his performance better. And if I was aware of that, I would have also wore knee pads, and the whole series could have been different. I could have had a sweep. I could have won 5 in a row. I would have swept Jacob. But I just want you guys to know that I think it was an illegal play. If he would have said in game 1 that he was going to be wearing knee pads, I would have said, okay, yeah, sure, do it, and then I'll wear it. And then it just would have been different. So I don't think it's fair. I think it gives the league a bad name. And I hope you guys see it too, that it just wasn't fair because I didn't get to wear the knee pads. So, I mean, I think that's all I got to say. I hope Gus and Oliver see that it just wasn't fair. And then I see questions like, Buddy's wearing a helmet. Here's the thing. Modded is like, it means to like modify, like Jacob said in game 6, your gear. But everything we were wearing at the start was fine. But then Jacob modded, okay? He put knee pads on, which means he modded his gear. Okay? So that's all I gotta say. I hope everyone's on my side. And you know, I'm looking forward to game 7. I think it should happen. You're wearing a bucket, dumbass, is what someone said. But I was wearing it from the start. That's what you guys don't understand. I was wearing it from the start. Jake put his knee pads on in game 2. Please, guys, vote for me. Save me. This is baloney.
Don't say that.
Wow, Jacob, please.
Jacob won. That's the first comment I see. All right, boys. I don't even know where. Get it out.
Where's the bathroom?
Just go poop outside. Okay. All right, boys. So we're just going to talk about the controversy. Obviously, Ole's talking about the shitties that I had on. For the record, I showed up to game 2. I had a conversation with Ole prior to the game. I showed him the new pads that I had, and he's like, yeah, you can put them on, buddy. So I put them on. And I'm not worried about it because this whole thing's been about adversity for Jacob. I'm just going to keep rolling, boys. You know, it is what it is. If they're going to push me into a game 7 format, then I'm going to win again. So technically I win the championship twice. That nobody's ever done that before. So that's pretty cool. If we would talk about controversy too, Ole basically spends the whole game on his feet. I play knee hockey on my knees. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing for the fans. And Ole is just not about that. He flops around like a fish. He's standing up on his toes. He literally kicked my twig and blamed it that I slashed his toe diggies. And that's not the case. He kicked my twig after slashing about 4,500 times. Even last game, look at one of the face-offs in the third, boys. He slashed my arm, basically broke it off at the bow. And then what else do we got? I can just keep going on for years about this chode. Anyways, that's my case. I'm gonna wear the knee pads, boys, because I'm laying it out on the line. You're getting a goalie performance of the century. You're getting offense of the century. I'm just an absolute beast out there, and Ole's just afraid. He hasn't worked out since 7th grade, and I've been working out hard all summer. So it is what it is. We'll see what the league has to say about it. And just for the record, on modified literally means to take a component and change it or alter it to make it better. If you look in the dictionary, so if I were to cut out the palms of my mitts, then I modified my mitts. I bought those knee pads and I put them on. I didn't modify nothing. I just put them on my knees. They're built for your knees. Why not put them on your knees? And then Ole's wearing sweats under his jeans. That's not cool. He's not going skin on hardwood. So what's the difference? That's all I have to say.
Hello, Oliver and Gus are back. Some good cases by each player.
Interesting points brought up by both of the opponents.
Here are the knee pads. These are correct. These are the knee pads Jacob was wearing in Game 6. Clearly, they have not been modified at all. I believe they're for volleyball, though. But they're not modified. Here, you closer look. Not modified. There's been a lot of discussion here, but I think we've come to a verdict on the Game 6 knee pad scandal. Gus, please.
Judging by the words in the rule book, clearly states that it cannot be modified equipment. Looking at the knee pads a lot closer, now that we've had access to them, we can clearly see that they weren't modified. We cross-referenced to a thesaurus and a dictionary, and this does not fall in the criteria of modified. It is not even fied at all. So they are good knee pads. They're okay. However, it was not disclosed to the league or the referees. Even if there was a conversation with Oli, it was not disclosed that this would be a part of the game. Therefore, we have decided that Game 6 will not count in Jacob's favor. It doesn't necessarily show up as a W for doesn't necessarily show up as a W for Oli. However, it does show up as more or less an L for Jacob.
Yeah, so we've discussed it thoroughly. Jacob will DNF Game 6. There will be a Game 7 played. Oli technically wins Game 6, but a W will not go on his record.
It'll be a lowercase W.
It'll be a lowercase, not a capital. Also, we've discussed that because Jacob lost, Oli will be served -2 goals at the start of Game 7. So he will be down 2-0 in the series. Jacob will receive 3 penalty shots, but since he wore the knee pads, he will be nullified 2. So he's only awarded 1, as the section 17R in the rule book.
Correct, yes.
So that's what will happen. So Jacob will be up by 2, but will get 3 penalty shots, but get 2 taken away because he was DNF'd. And in the rule, if you get DNF'd, you lose 2 penalty shots. Oli will also receive 4 penalties, but Jacob can do anything to him 4 times, and those penalties will be nullified. Gus?
We feel like this is the fairest way to go forwards. And obviously knowing now with the knee pads that are going to be in play for Game 7, Oli will still be allowed to wear the bucky. Obviously, there was some controversy in the chat here about that, but it is actually prescribed to him. So he has to wear the bucky, and he can do up the stun strap. So that is breaking news for Oli. I think he's going to be pretty excited about that one. Going forwards into Game 7 and looking at the previous matchups, there has been a lot of calls that have gone missed, and we want Game 7 to be as fair as possible for the fans, not just for the players, because nobody actually cares about them. It's mainly just for the fans. So we feel like these precautions and these scenarios are important to the integrity of the league. We apologize for what happened in Game 6. As a league, that's on us, and we're going to do everything possible in the years coming to hire the right people to make sure that this is taken care of.
We need to be aware of our actions as one of the biggest mini-stick leagues on planet Earth. We need to be aware of what's going on. I see a lot of the comments. There's a lot of BS and bullshits that Gus or Jacob lost, but I feel like it's the right move. Any sort of equipment needs to be presented to the league prior to the series. So we feel like this is the right move as a league.
The smartest play for sure. And going forwards, like we said, it's just going to make the league even better. Come 2022 championship, we should have 0 issues leading into that. Should have 0 controversy, even though these are the 2 biggest idiots in the game. I feel like they'll still be able to keep the integrity up with the rules and the discretionaries that we're proposing today.
A lot of people are saying, Gus, that why can't Ole just wear goalie pads now?
I haven't seen that once.
Okay, that wasn't in the chat.
And part of that, just to touch on that, because obviously Oliver and Ole, you guys are close. I've seen it. You can't wear the goalie pads because it states you can't have goalie gear in it.
It does state that in the books.
If you have goalie gear on, per se, goalie pads, literally all you have to do is stand in front of these tiny little nets, and no biscuits should get through you. They probably would still get through Ole. However, that's an unfair advantage because it does take up room in the net. These don't take up room, so you're allowed to wear knee pads no more than 12 inches wide. As you can see, these are only 12 inches wide.
Hold on, we have a question here. I'm going to scroll down. Oliver and Gus, I have a question. Will Jacob still be allowed to wear the knee pads? ? Yes, Jacob will be allowed to wear the knee pads now that the league is aware of it. And also, in the rule book, Game 7, there is no rules.
Yeah, rules are thrown out, but we're still going to follow all the rules within that book, but it is effectively thrown out starting.
So there's rules, but just no rules in Game 7.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so that's going to confuse Ole and Jacob a little bit, but we'll send them an email, a briefing about what's going on. I believe Jacob has already left the building. Ole is crying somewhere, but he'll be happy to hear the news. And also, Game 7 will be live on YouTube.
That's right on here on YouTube.
On here.
It will be within the next few days. You can expect an announcement from the league pertaining to the event schedule. We're still looking at getting some referees to make it a more fair game. Not sure how that's going to go because we've effectively fired every single referee before they've even made it to a game, just based on what we don't like about them, and that's usually everything.
Yeah, we as a league, we don't really like many people.
No,
mainly just because of the way they look. We just don't like it.
Kind of irks us.
Yeah, so that's Gus. That's gonna be it for the hearing.
That about wraps it up. We thank everybody for joining us today, being a part of this. I know it was a lot of controversy going into it, but we appreciate the understanding and the patience of all the fans. And just hopefully stick with us for the remainder of the mini stick championships.
Also, we have big news. Would you like to tell them about the potential?
Which one?
The potential outdoor game.
Oh yeah, coming up this summer, to be determined, TBD. We will be playing a mini stick outdoor classic, the first annual mini stick outdoor classic
in Vancouver or Victoria, British Columbia.
It's a tiny little island.
It's a tiny little island over in the northeast coast to the side.
Literally like this big.
Yeah. So it'll be the first ever outdoor mini stick game in the whole universe. Not even Mars has done it. So we're excited and we're looking forward to it.
And the best part about this game, it's going to be a full hockey game time frame with commercials, with an anthem, and hopefully with fans in the stands.
Thank you. We appreciate everyone being here today for the hearing. Now get back to work, and we're going to go
do other stuff.
Yeah.
Thank
you guys. Appreciate everybody being here.
Cheers.
I got to poop so bad. All right, that's ended.